Good morning. Today I'm going to show you behind the scenes on what it takes to shoot and edit one of our conversations with videos. I'm also going to be shooting a Q&A video for the main channel as well, so I don't know why I do this to myself, but today I'm going to attempt to shoot 3 videos. Okay, well, the motorhome was fairly clean, but Lindsay's giving it a good clean, ready to go away, but I'm going to mess it up again today. So let's get this place ready to record, shall we? First up, heating. It's a bit cold out here, so let's turn the heating up a bit. Right, first off camera gear, I have a couple of lights, studio lights, to try and get the lighting a bit better in here. We've got our go-to vlogging camera, which is a Sony ZV-1. Coupled with that we have a Rode Video Mic NTG, probably my favourite mic by far. Not cheap, but great mic. We then have a Sony A7C camera with a 24-105 lens. It's a great camera, great lens. It isn't quite as portable as our ZV-1, so our ZV-1 is generally the one we kind of just pick up and run and gun and record with. And I've got a mini tripod there I'll be using as well. Okay, next up, questions. We do come up with questions in advance. There's certainly some way we want to take the conversation, and Lindsay generally takes care of that. So we've got about an hour and a half before the conversation is about to begin, and we're just going to sit down and go through the questions one last time. But look at Lindsay there, looking rather dapper in her red leggings, eh?
Shush. Shush, shush, shush.
Right, what are we saying? Questions?
So we talk about the fact that it feels like we're really behind in the vlogs, so I'd like to understand why, because they've only just escaped Morocco in his vlogs, haven't they?
Yes, Alex.
Even though we know from his latest video they've
and
been
his
in spell.
Instagram post.
Yeah.
Alex isn't the fastest of editing and uploading his vlogs. Great vlogs.
No, I think that's deliberate. I don't think it's
Sure.
about speed or anything. I think he's very calculated and very strategic in when he posts. So I'd like to understand.
I think he's just been enjoying his time with Amy and fallen in love, really. But
and not wanting to vlog that until they're comfortable with each other.
Sure.
So it's interesting.
Yeah.
I
mean, our vlogs. I like to put our vlogs out kind of within a couple of weeks of shooting them, within a week or two of shooting them.
You can't hold on to. You've got to share.
I just burst in to share with you guys, you know. So.
And maybe not go through all the questions in advance. Turn it off. We'll have a discussion and then they can watch the real thing.
Okay, you're going to have to go now, but we'll see in a minute. Right, I'm all set up. Let me give you a look at the setup here in the motorhome. I haven't trashed it as much as usual. Not yet, anyway. But here we go. So, right here, obviously, got a table to put our notes on and what have you. Right here, earbuds. Why have we got earbuds and why is there 2 pairs? Well, what we do is we ring them up either using Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp, and we have an earbud each, and we'll have a chat like that. And then what we do is we'll literally press record and we'll put the phones away, still talking on the phones, and record looking at the camera as if we're talking to them into the camera. They'll record their video and audio, we'll record ours, and then afterwards they'll send me the video and I'll take the time of editing it together, which does take a bit of time, and I'll show you that later. So that's how we do it. We just make a simple call on the phone with WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or something like that. We then put the phone aside, earbuds in, have the conversation, looking into the cameras, and record it that way. And that way we get a better video and a better audio than trying to do it over a Zoom call or something like that. And of course the edit that takes the time. Flicking back and forth, which I'll show you. So setup, rest of the setup here. We have the lighting. So we have a studio light over here. We also have one over here. The cable there is going up to the Video Mic NTG that I have here. And that's just out of shot, just above our heads, as you'll see. Cameras. So there's the camera set up here. So there's the A7C that's set up, as you can see, and that's got a digital mic on the top, shotgun mic. Again, that's a backup mic really. We won't be using that because the NTG will be picking it up a lot better. And then there is the ZV-1 on a mount that I fixed from there, so it's floating down. And I've also got a HDMI cable into the TV, so that's where we can see what's going on, and we can see our audio levels there and make sure they're not clipping as well. So that is the setup. So that's the setup of our little studio for our conversations with. Like I say, a little bit later I'm going to show you the editing of it, which will take maybe a couple, 2 or 3 days to do the editing, back and forth. But I'll show you that a little bit later. I will hopefully try and shoot some footage while we're recording as well, but I've really got to concentrate on the job in hand of recording the conversations with. So let's see how we do with that. Okay, earbuds are charged, so I've got to plug the battery pack into the ZV-1 camera now, because the battery on that camera probably lasts about an hour tops, so just in case, I just want to be charging it whilst we're recording. The other one takes the big batteries and will last for a few hours, so as a precaution, just put an external battery pack in it. Right, so we have got probably 15 minutes now left, and we're going to give them a call. So again, I get a bit nervous at this stage. I know I shouldn't, but I just want to make sure everything's going right, that's all. Just want to make sure we can do them justice. So questions have been prepared. We've gone through the questions a couple of times. We've added to the questions as well. We generally have more questions than we need, and then in the edit I find it hard to edit it down to under an hour. So but here we go, nearly time. And here's Lindsay.
Hi.
Well, how is he? All right?
Yeah, he's just tired and grumpy.
If you ask yourself why we don't do this in the house, it's the kids. They're just so bloody noisy, and they're entitled to be noisy in their own house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have blocked out much of the natural light. We have the studio lighting on. We are set up, ready to go. Quick sound test, and we'll give them a call. Hey, so we had to postpone until this evening because we had Alex available, but Amy was a little bit busy then by the time Alex has sorted out the charger and stuff like that. So we're back now. We're 6:30. The gear's still set up. We've set up a few more lights. Lights everywhere, coming from all angles. And we're going to record the conversations with, and I'll try and give you a little bit more behind the scenes as we're recording it, but I've got to concentrate on the game in hand. Right, see you in a bit. And it's a wrap. Sorry guys, I didn't get to record anything whilst we were on there. It was it takes so much concentration from me. I do get so nervous doing these things, I tell you what. But listen, it went really, really well. Hopefully you've seen it. It's probably going to be put out before this one, so if you haven't, get over to our main channel and have a look at that. So now we have got to get the files from Alex and Amy, so they're going to send the files via Google Drive, and then I've got our files from our two cameras, and then I'm going to put them all together on the timeline, which I'll show you, and I'm probably going to spend at least 2 days editing these. So here we go. Hey guys, so it's been a week and a half since we did the conversations with Alex and Amy. We've been away since for the weekend, and I hope you enjoyed that video. But Alex and Amy are full-time in the van, and they've been struggling with data to be able to get that file to me, because obviously we record our video, they record their video, and at the end they send me the data file, which is quite a big file. And then I spend a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, editing all together. Now I know Alex and Amy were at Friends this weekend, jumped on their internet, and they've sent me the file. So I'm going to start editing today, start putting this thing together, kind of show you how it's done. I'm in the office, which is a little dark, but we've got some lighting on, help light the show. Got the big machine here, but I mainly do my editing on the MacBook. That's the main machine I do the editing on. So I've dropped the files on the timeline. So what we got there is 2 video files from ourselves, our main camera and our backup camera, and 1 video file from them. And what I do is try and synchronize the files now, and kind of flick back and forth, which is a slow, tedious job. And I'll end up going through this maybe kind of probably 10, 12 times until I get it right. If I cough or we talk over each other, I'll edit that out and put lots and lots of fine chops in there. So, not sure how interesting this will be, but I'll give it a go and I'll kind of show you where I'm at, and I'll show you the kind of edits that we're doing, and how many chops and cuts I put in this at the end. I'll be editing that out, don't you worry about that. I'll be editing that out.
And whatever
right,
stupid things I say.
I'm going to hide you guys away from my face.
Yes, do that.
Yeah.
We'll put you down. We'll put you down there. Look, there we are. You can look at the scene.
So much better questions.
Right, I am doing it for myself today. I'm doing 3 videos today, by the way. I'm recording a behind-the-scenes version of this video. I've done a Q&A, and there's this video as well. So, really knocking it out.
Busy day.
Oh, heck of a day.
Yeah.
I've showered and washed my hair.
Yeah, sorry for holding you out of guard.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that.
We're still in lockdown. It's not like we're doing anything else.
Okay, I'm only a few minutes in, and I've come across a perfect example of why it takes me so long to do these. Okay, so if you'll see here, Alex and Amy are on the top. The prime one I'm doing is right here, and you'll see the audio levels here where we talk over each other. So just have a listen to this.
It's got to be easier for sure.
You think that, but
Okay, so they were talking, we were talking. So what I've got to do now is dip our audio, and which I can do by holding the R button down and dragging across here, and then pulling down on our audio here. And let's play that again so we're not talking over them.
Better.
Yeah, it's got to be easier for sure.
yeah, you'd think that, but obviously, Alex, sorry.
Right, so there you go. So I have to do that lots and lots of times where there's maybe a cough, or we're speaking over them, or they're speaking over us. And that's a prime example why it takes me so long to edit these. So thought I'd show you that early on in the edit. Okay guys, another prime example of making as many cuts as possible to keep this flowing. I want to show you where we're at right now. Listen to this bit first of all. Alex, you're known as Kite Man.
Yeah.
And how long have you been kite surfing? Okay, so some hesitation from me looking down at the questions. We don't need to put that, so we can cut that out. Even just a second here and there helps. So Command Shift and B to cut it there. I'm going to delete this section here, and now just listen to it again. It'll flow much better. Alex, you're known as Kite Man.
Yeah.
How long have you been kite surfing?
There
you go. So again, that flows much better. You don't need me hesitating and stuff like that. We'll just cut out anything unnecessary. A second here, 2 seconds there. It all helps in the final edit. Right, let's show you a bit more editing here. So first of all, let's have a listen to this.
Yeah.
Stacked on top of each other, and the lift would like take you off the ground, do a bit of kite jumping.
So they're like foil kites, right? Okay,
so we've got a bit of a gap there that we're going to chop out. Only about a second gap, but it all matters. So I'm going to make a cut there. I'm going to make another cut here, and we're going to literally just take away that. I'm also going to dip Lindsay's voice right here, where she's talking over Alex. So we're going to drag that down, and then we're going to take these, and whatever clips on the top is the one that's actually shown. So if I drag that down, and let's have another look and I listen to this now. Stacked on top of each other, and the lift would like take you off the ground, do a bit of kite jumping.
So they're like foil kites, right?
There you go. So we have been faced with a few additional challenges on some of these conversations with. On Liam's one, I edit out the diesel heater sound. When he sent me his file across, all I could hear was his diesel heater in the background. So I had to spend quite a bit of time just trying to take that background noise out of Liam's interview. On this one with Alex and Amy, for some reason he's had trouble with the camera, and about every 20 minutes, the camera just kept shutting off. So he sent me the files across, and of course when they cut out, I've got to put them back in sync again. Let me show you.
Because I had like a little pocket for my camera and stuff.
And you'll see in a second.
Gotcha. I think it's something to do with like it's some sort of European standard where it's like 20 minutes or something like that. I've heard about before.
So there you go. So I've just got to then now resync this so it's all at the same timings as the other clips on the timeline, which isn't too bad. It then takes me at 5 minutes. Okay, I've got the first run through done, and I'm just under an hour. So that's the first quick rough edit of the video. Now I'm going to sit down with Linz and we'll go through it together and see how else we can chop it about and edit it. Fine tune it. And we'll also be making some notes of any photos or extra videos that I'd like to overlay. And I'll also be chopping it about again on this second run through. So we've run through the whole video now.
Yep.
Probably took us another couple of hours. And then took some, also at the same time made some notes of where we needed the photos. And we also took what we thought were funny outtakes to make a little promo video that we like doing. We just like to make a 1 minute promo video. And we've taken all the funny bits and we've chopped that together. And here it is now. What do you think?
A very unfortunate time in my life when I met Alex. Like, what bad timing.
What about you, Amy? Where would you choose?
I don't know.
And I was going to say, you sound like Thor talking to Hulk.
Do this here with this. I'm like, I don't know how to do that.
We see you got Kutch in the van.
I thought they were stalking us.
Have you got a favourite there?
Whew.
Alex,
No,
that's very
apparently
mean.
it's just we're not allowed.
Oh, too much water.
Imagine
in
having a
there.
jacuzzi in the van.
Fair play.
Overshooting your goal a little bit then.
And then yeah, I crashed it. Well, drove it into a head bar.
No, I don't want to do that either. No!
Some crazy people.
It's
Like the best of crazy people.
Calm. Everything's fine.
And then obviously, I mean, you can get away with a lot as well. If you stay in Schengen, there's no border checks. I mean.
And we have a kid-free house. There's no kids. Kids are out playing. And we've chosen the time to edit videos. So what we're going to do now is speak to Alex and Amy, see if they've got any photos we can overlay. And then we'll put the final cut together and send it over for their approval. Make sure they're happy with the final cut. But I have struggled to keep it under an hour. So again. So I hope you guys have enjoyed an insight into the 3 days I spend editing the conversations with and what goes into it. A lot of work, a lot of time goes into it. But I hope you enjoyed the end result anyway. See you guys in the next one.
See ya.